What is going on, Dino Duelists? It is your man's amazing Mike Man, and I got top 16 / top 8, depending on how you view it. I'll explain what happened in a moment. But I got top 16 / top 8 at the Genesys YCS at YCS Columbus, Ohio, with Jurrac GMX Dinosaur. Some call it JMX, right? Because Jurrac GMX. Yeah, Dino DNA, man. Here's what happened. I was on track to get top 8. I was X2, and then I won my last round. Unfortunately, I did not turn the match slip in on time, so me and my opponent, we both got a double loss. So I went from X2 to X3 because of that, but before that scenario had happened, I was guaranteed a spot in top 8. So my real record is top 8, X2 out of, how many rounds is that?
11
rounds. So that's my record, technically top 8, but, you know, life happens. Yeah, anyway. Here is the deck profile. So, first off, we got on the Jurrac engine. Oh, here's my prizing, man. Look at this, Oh, it feels great. Anyway, 3 Jurrac Stego. This card is the best card in the deck. It's a 1-card starter, gets you everything. This card's crazy. You go first, you see this, or a way to get to it. It's broken, it gets you your full combo, which I'll explain the combo too. But this is like your strongest normal summon, and then also the strongest thing you can mill off of GMX Experiment 55. We're on 3 Jurrac Megalo. This thing is kind of like the Magician's Souls. It's pretty good. You can special summon it if you control a dinosaur. You can discard 2 cards, including a Jurrac, and draw 2, and that comes up because a lot of your bricks are Jurrac names. So you have a way to convert your bricks. Or let's say you open like multiple Jurracs, you could like convert the extra one. The real value is, if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send a Jurrac monster from deck or extra to the graveyard. So that's how you're going to be getting your Stego into the grave, and your end board is going to have, at bare minimum, 3 or 4 nukes. And then we're on 2 Aolo, necessary for the combo. Some people decide to cut 1, you could try to make it work, but really there's going to be situations where you need the second. So I decided, screw it, I'm playing 2, and it's a soft brick because it does have utility in your hand, whether it with Jurrac Megalo or with Small World even. And then we're on 1 Titano. This one you could honestly cut. Normally you're going to send Misk off of him, but sometimes you're going to have to send Conductor and then special this and a level 1 to make your Synchros. So sometimes that can happen. It didn't happen all day today, but it comes up fairly enough in testing to warrant me playing this. But I totally understand if you want to cut this. We're on 2 Jurrac Volcano. This card lets you get into Jurrac Stego, but it's bad going second, so that's why I'm only on 2. And I side a 3rd. It's a really good going first, because this plus any dinosaur gets you your full combo. And then also you can summon Meteor on the opponent's turn if they play into it, but I'm not relying on this. This effect to summon Meteor is not how you're summoning Meteor usually, unless you're in a bad spot where you need to rely on this. But usually, you're getting your 4 nukes through Impact, and you have 3 Asteros. These are how you're summoning Meteor. You're not really summoning Meteor through this. This is really just an engine piece, and also it helps you protect your Jurracs from destruction. So sometimes if they go Illusion Gate, you can protect your Asteros. We're on the 1-up Impact, non-negotiable, super necessary. This adds so much layering to your end board, it's so good. You set this with a Stero, and you're able to, it gives you a whole extra nuke, and it's also something you can discard off of Megalo, so it's not even that bad of a brick. Up next, we got the GMX engine. 3 Chairman Kimrich. This, you basically reveal it, you shuffle it back, and you get your fusion spell. We're on 1 Celandea, 1 Salandi, and 1 Dino Dini. Sorry guys, a bit of technical difficulties, but yeah, so we're on this guy. Essentially 3 copies of the fusion spell. This guy's great, you can summon him from hand, but if you summon him from hand, you're locked out, or you activate the effect to summon any dinosaur from hand. He locks you out of attacking directly with anything but GMXs. So going second, just remember it's going to be a lot harder to kill unless you make exactly Comprex. Comprex is really good for OTKing. He's really good. I think I want to play 2 of him next time. Every time I saw him, he was great, so I think like a 2 of. I wouldn't play 3, but he's a good extender. 1 Saland, just so I have an extra GMX name. It's one of your worst normal summons. I just play it as a 1-up, so I have it as an option, because there are situations where it does come up. Yeah, sometimes you can be popping off and not even use your normal summon, then you can normal summon this, get this, and then bridge into the GMX stuff. So, just having 1 of as an option is nice, and it adds to the GMX names, but it is like the weakest normal summon. It's not terrible to draw, but it's definitely, you don't want to play more than 1. And then 1 Deneen. It's a pseudo brick. It's not even really that much of a brick, because if you summon it, you can fuse it with any dinosaur in your hand. Let's say you have terrible hand, Deneen Titano. You could normal summon Deneen, activate effect, fuse itself in Titano, and make Evolve Deneen, and then a Deneen can search a GMX card, and then you can kind of pop off from there. So while not the best thing in a pinch, it is a 1.5 card combo. But really, the thing, if you draw this, it's not even terrible because during your combo, you're gonna get Megalo on field. And then if you have a Jurrac name, or you could search a Jurrac with Oviraptor, you're gonna activate Megalo effect to discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards. You want this in the graveyard because how you're summoning this usually is you're gonna activate Oviraptor's effect to pop a dinosaur on field and revive this from graveyard. And then that's how you're gonna trigger the effect. So you want this in the graveyard. So if you open it, you just discard it off of Megalo and make sure you have another Jurrac in hand. So if during combo, if you don't have a Jurrac in hand, you add it with Oviraptor. So I'll get into how that plays in a minute. And of course we're on 2 fusion spells. Now this is great, an excellent extender. It's essentially E-Telly for a random dinosaur in deck. But you don't want to play 3 spells because you already have these 3, you're already on 5. So you don't want to see multiples because this is a hard once per turn. So that's why I'm only on 2 instead of 3. I know some people like to play 3 and 3, but I think 2 and 3 is the optimal ratio.
How many times did you kill yourself with it?
None today and in recent testing. These ratios are really solid. I came close once, and then 1 time in a dueling book match. I was very unlucky. And it was in the follow-up. I shouldn't have activated it. But it's honestly really unlikely you're gonna kill yourself. But to be honest, I would probably play a second Solandi just to help with that.
Just to increase the math on seeing a GMX name?
Yeah, but honestly, 11 rounds, I didn't kill myself once. I think the most damage I took was 6,000, and that was scary, but thankfully I was able to hit a GMX. We're on the 55th experiment report. This is a 1-of because you search it. You search it off of Dino usually, and then you're going to set it, and then on the opponent's turn, you're going to flip and make Velox, and then pop, and then this is also incredible for the grind game. Having these 2 in the graveyard is so powerful. Next, we're on the Dino package. 3 Ovi. This is really good. Ovi is a 1-card combo as well. Much weaker than Stego, but it is something. And then we're going to be on 1 Misk, 1 Pank. Pank is so clutch. So there's going to be a lot of situations where you can small world for it, or you can OV search Pank, and then going second, you can special summon it, pop like a D-Fisher. It's so good having a searchable out to things, but the real value of Pankratops is going to be when you, it's an incredible small world bridge. Pretty much, when you go small world, any dinosaur in hand, Titano, Aeolo, all these bricks that you don't want, maybe you open like, I don't know, double Stego or something. Small world banishes, let's say it's Titano or Aeolo. These are very common. You banish one of these, they go into Pank. So many things go into Pank. And then Pank will get you either one of, these are like the 3 things you really want to search off a small world usually. And Pank bridges into all 3 of these.
And have you tested without Misk, or do you think it's well worth the points?
Well worth the points, especially because they lowered it. It's 67 now. I was playing this when Misk was 75 points. And now that it's 67, it is absolutely worth it. Yeah, so Misk is 67, Pank is 5. And then we're going to be on 1 searchable Kaiju. Ovi can search it, so that's why we're on it. It's also not bad to draw going second. And then 1 Conductor. Some people play 2, and I like the idea of playing 2 because with Stego, there's a lot of situations where you can pop itself, send Conductor, special Titano and a tuner, and then go into full combo there. And then you have the second one for the grind game. But because of the GMX stuff, we can have a lot easier time killing on turn 3 now, so we don't need to play a second Conductor. So if for whatever reason this Conductor goes away, and there's several ways our Conductor can be removed from the game. Whether we have to small world for it, right? Because while Pank is an incredible bridge, Conductor is also an incredible bridge too. So if you open, this happened to me in tournament, if you open Pank in small world and you need to get to something, you know, you're not going to have access to the Pank. So this is your backup bridge. This also gets you into OV, Misk, or Stego. Sometimes you're going to small world and get your Conductor banished. So, and that's totally fine because we have Comprex to finish games now. So we don't need to play double Conductor anymore. And then also, you could small world it away, you could Stego pop it away, or Experiment can mill it. So there are a lot of ways Conductor can leave the game, but it's also nice having it so you can search it off of OV in the grind. So it's clutch. I think you just need 1, you don't need 2, because it'll really break your hands if you play 2. But 1, solid. I think you should still play 1, because it does come up.
How many times have you milled UTC off Experiment 55?
Maybe like once. Yeah.
Did it matter or no?
No, it didn't matter because I'm playing the game, I'm winning, you know? And then I have this as the backup. So you don't, like, if you have to send this away or it gets sent away, it's not the end of the world. That's why I used to play 2, but the GMX editions with Blazing Dominion support, game changer, man, game changer.
And how much does the Reborn on OV come up for you?
All the time. It's a crucial part of the combo. So we're actually gonna go over the 1-card combo. Points. Fua is 7 points. This is, I forget if it's 5 or 4, but this is my point spread. Misk and Pank. And then in the side, I got double Cyclone. And I think this is it. I think this is all my points here. But yeah, so now we're going to go over non-engine real quick. 3 Fua, 3 Skullmeister, 1 Ghost Mourner, 3 Illusion Gate, and then 3 Small World. If you go Small World into Skullmeister into Fua, you can get Stego, Ovi, or Misk. But if you go Small World into Fua into Skullmeister, you can only get Misk. The other one, the other bridge, is Kimmeridge. If you have Fua, you can banish Kimmeridge, and then Kimmeridge can get you Misk. It can also get you Ovi, but Kimmeridge cannot get you Stego because Stego also has 900 defense. So you can't get Stego, but you can get Misk and Ovi. So something to be aware of. So yeah, for non-engine, 3 Misk, 3 Skullmeister. Skullmeister's great. I love it. And then 3 Illusion Gate. And 3 Small World. And yeah, this is it. So this is really my and then of course the Pank and the Doggeran really helped me go second and break boards. And that is my 41 card main deck. And then we're gonna go into the extra deck for now. We have 3 Jurrac Astero, 3 Jurrac Meteor. I'm gonna do a little bit of a flex. We got dual terminal. This is QCR or Starlight? It's QCR. So we got OG dual terminal, QCR, and I think this is the Starlight? Yeah. And this is the Starlight, all target. So I love them all. I can't pick between one. I know some people like to have it matchies, but I don't know, man. I like each one is nice in their own right. So, and then we have 1 of Velfito, 1 Hornbrute Carnivorous, 1 Formula Synchron. Now, this can come up in a lot of situations where you have Alos, Deneen, and a level 1 tuner. Sometimes, especially when you go Salandi, this is going to come up where you have to go these 2 into Formula, draw a card, and then go into Astero. Astero set the field spell, and then Astero can Volcano can pop Astero, and then you go into Stego, and then Stego can pop a card, send Misk, and then you access your other dinosaur cards. So sometimes you're gonna have to. The formula is just nice as a flex. The formula is not necessary. There are lines where where you have to do that, and the formula helps out. So 3 Astero, 3 Meteor, 1 Hornbrute, 1 Velfito, 1 Formula. This is my Synchro package. For Xyz, just Logia Doka, that's all we need. And then for fusions, we're on Alos, Velox, Evolve Deneen, and GMX Jurrac. So, and I'm going to explain 2 1-card combos real quick. The first one is Stego. Normal summon Stego. Activate effect, destroy a card you control. You're going to pop itself, and then you're going to send Misk and special 4 level 1s. Aeolo, Aeolo, Megalo, Megalo, right? You're going to go Aeolo effect, tribute, bring back Stego. And then you're going to sync for 5, Velfito. Aeolo, tribute, special, Stego. Sync for 6, Hornbrute. Then, I personally like to Misk first before syncing, and you'll see why. You can react to the opponent. So especially if they may have Skullmeister for the Misk, you know going into Astero what spell or trap you want to set. So it's just better to like get that information from the opponent. So you want to bait out, see if they have Skullmeister, see what sort of hand trap interruption they have before doing this. You could do this at any point, so you don't want to need to jump the gun on this yet, because once you decide what to set with Volcano, that's that, you know? So, but this is the way it's supposed to go. Misk banish 4. 2, 3, 4. I specifically like to banish 1 of each because you want to have 1 of each in the grave, you know? So we're going to banish 4, summon Oviraptor. We're going to activate Ovi on summon effect to add or send. You're going to add or send, return Dino Deneen. Now, if you have a Jurrac in hand, this is really good because let's say you have Volcano or Impact in hand, right? Or your 3rd Megalo, whatever. Or maybe another copy of Stego. Best case scenario, you're going to get an extra draw. But if you don't have another Jurrac in hand, you're going to send it to the grave. We're going to go sync for 10. We're going to assume we don't. But best case scenario, you can very often, and it happened to me a lot, I very frequently got an extra draw 2 on top of everything. So we're going to go sync for 10, Astero on summon effect. We're going to go ahead and set a field spell. We're going to set Jurrac Volcano, activate it, right? And we're going to activate Volcano, destroy dinosaur control. We're going to destroy the Astero, special Megalo from deck. And now, if you do have Deneen in hand plus a Jurrac, here is where you would discard 2 and draw 2, right? But let's assume we don't have that. We're just going to send it to the graveyard. Now we're gonna go Ovi, target Megalo, destroy it, special summon a dinosaur from grave and defense. We're gonna destroy Megalo, special Deneen. We're gonna go, to prevent Skullmeister from screwing us, we're gonna go chain 1 Megalo, chain 2 Deneen to search. Search Kimmeridge, Megalo, dump, Astero. We're gonna activate Kimmeridge effect in hand. We're gonna shuffle it back and add the fusion spell. We're gonna go ahead and activate the fusion spell, but we're gonna mill a GMX and like any dinosaur. Let's say it's Conductor, right? Worst case scenario, we don't want to mill Conductor, but it can happen. We're gonna go ahead and summon Alos. Alos effect, we're gonna go ahead and revive Horned Brute. Horned Brute plus Ovi. We're gonna make Astero number 3 effect. This is not once per turn, we could set again. We're gonna set another spell trap. So we're gonna set Impact. Then we're gonna go to Deneen, fuse these two. We're gonna make Evolve Deneen. Evolve, we're gonna go chain 1, Evolve Deneen, chain 2, down on Deneen to boost these guys. The boost is actually a little bit important because if they kaiju this is gonna be 2800. So the condition for this is you need to control a dinosaur with 2500 or more attack. So the boost makes this over 25, which comes up. So we're gonna search from Deneen, and we're gonna add 55th Experiment Report. Then we're gonna go ahead and set it. This is our end board, okay? We have Astero on field. We have 2 Asteros in the graveyard, right? And we have Impact, and we have a quick effect fuse in the opponent's turn. Once I summon a monster, we can use this and a GMX in deck to make Velox. So we have a pop, a plus as well, because when we excavate, we're gonna either add or special summon a GMX or a dinosaur. And dude, it's so good. This happened to me in tournament. You can excavate Pank and then summon Pank on the opponent's turn. So that's just, you know, like that can happen if you're really lucky. Usually it'll just be something you add for follow-up, and then that's gonna trigger Deneen in the grave. Because the card was excavated, you can summon it, and then this can search another GMX.
And you're usually not gaining a ton of life off the Deneen generally?
No, you're not. In fact, the life gain didn't come up for me at all, to be honest. The only life gain is like a 200 here from Velox, but so you have a lot of nukes. You're gonna nuke. They're gonna play through the 1 pop. That's fine. You're gonna impact, and you have 4 nukes. These are your nukes. Your 4 nukes. The 2 in the grave, and then once you flip, this is gonna get in the grave. None of these are once per turn, so that's great. And then your last nuke, end phase. They're always gonna set a couple spells and traps. Make sure you nuke that last end phase, blow the board up. And then you're gonna special summon Meteor, blow the field up, get a tuner back, right? Here's how you kill. On your turn, you're gonna have a tuner left over from Meteor, that's important to remember. Activate this effect, banish, and you're gonna excavate. The life point cost doesn't matter here because this doesn't burn you for any life. So you're gonna excavate until you get any GMX. Let's say you get Kimmeridge, but what you really wanna do is you wanna add Celandea. It'd be cool if you get Celandea, but excavating will trigger Evolve Deneen, and then Deneen is going to summon, and then search again. So you want to get to this guy, essentially. Okay, future amazing Mike Man here. During the physical deck profile, at this point in the combo demonstration, I made a little mistake. So I'm fixing that mistake here by showing this dueling book demonstration of how the combo is actually supposed to go. So at this point in this game state, you have special summoned Evolve Deneen, right? By its trigger effect, right? Because you excavated cards with GMX report by banishing from the graveyard. So now Evolve Deneen's on field, and you activated the on summon trigger effect to search GMX partner Celandea. So now that Celandea is in hand, you're going to go ahead and activate the effect of GMX partner Celandea to special summon itself from hand, but it's going to lock you out of. It's going to lock you in the sense that you can only attack directly with GMX monsters for the rest of this turn, but that is A-okay because you're going to be performing an OTK using GMX Comprex. So you're going to go ahead and summon Celandea from hand, and then Celandea is going to activate its on summon effect to special summon a dinosaur from your a level 4 lower dinosaur from your grave or banishment. So you're going to go ahead and summon Oviraptor, and then Oviraptor on summon is going to go ahead and search any dinosaur. Could be Jurrac Stego, could be Jurrac Titano, could be Doggeran, does not matter. You're going to have a dinosaur in deck, so just any dinosaur. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have Oviraptor target a level 4 lower dinosaur in the field. In this case, Dracaeolo, right? That's why it's really important when you summon your last meteor, you need to make sure you summon Dracaeolo because it's a level 4 lower dinosaur. So if you say you summon like Horned Brute Carnivorous, you know, Oviraptor can't target that because it's too high of a level. So you need to always make sure on your last meteor to summon Aolo. So you're going to go ahead, Ovi, target Aolo, destroy it, special summon from graveyard in defense, GMX Alos. And then Alos is going to activate the effect to go ahead and summon a dinosaur from grave or banishment, and that's going to go ahead and summon returned Dino Deneen. Now you can activate the effect of return Dino Deneen to search a GMX, but at this point in the game state, it really doesn't matter. It's not like you're going to be resolving Researcher Solandi or Kimridge at this late in the game state, right? Because, you know, for Kimridge, all your GMXs are out of the deck, and for Solandi, all your level 3 or lower dinosaurs are out of the deck. So it's kind of pointless. I mean, you could do it for deck thinning, I guess. But yeah, and then you're going to go ahead and activate Return Dino Deneen's effect to perform a fusion summon. So using your plethora of dinosaurs on field and the dinosaur in hand that you searched off of Oviraptor, you can summon a 4 or 5 material GMX Comprex, which is going to be able to attack 3 times, and it's going to let you OTK the opponent here. That is the standard combo. However, sometimes you're going to have like an extra Oviraptor in hand or Conductor or something. So ideally what I would like to do is if you have Aeolo in hand and you have like an Oviraptor in hand, maybe you already had Deneen in hand and you already had a Jurrac in hand, so Ovi can search another Ovi. That's even better. What you're going to do instead in the grind game, which is a little bit safer, you're going to go ahead and normal summon Ovi, Ovi effect, add Conductor, assuming we don't mill Conductor, right? But the cool thing is there's a lot of different ways to get to close out game in this like game in this turn 3. So usually the opponent will scoop before we get to this point. But the thing is, before the GMX stuff, Jurrac's had a bad grind game, but the GMX allows us to have multiple lines to game. This is the safest if you have the Oviraptor. You're gonna normal summon Ovi, effect, add Conductor. Then you're gonna go ahead and Aeolo Tribute, or you can Ovi pop it, get Stego, overlay, make Dolka. This is going to protect you from Nibiru, or maybe they have something that can summon itself from the graveyard on your turn to stop you from killing them, and then maybe they could outgrind you, right? So this is going to stop that, and you're going to get Dolka guarantees you killing them essentially. Slam down that Conductor, and then Experiment 55, banish, add a GMX, and then this, add a GMX, and then this is well over game. That's 4,000 plus 7,000 plus, yeah, that's like well over game. So just these is enough for game. Here's the Ovi 1-card combo, not nearly as powerful as the Jurrac 1-card combo, but you're gonna go Ovi, add Misk, Misk Grave, banish, special, Deneen search, Kimridge go back into the deck, search, 55 you're gonna mill, summon Alos. Obviously if you mill Stego, change course, because Stego is the best thing you could mill, and then in that case you would Stego send Conductor because you don't have the zones, and that's why I play Titano for that scenario. But assuming you mill something bad like Conductor or Doggeran, then we're going to go ahead and summon Alos. We're going to go ahead and Alos effect, bring back Misk, overlay, Dolka. The Deneen effect, fuse itself, Alos. We're going to make Deneen search this, and then you're going to set it. Opponent's turn, they summon something, you fuse, make Velox. In terms of interruption, 2 Monster Negates and a Velox, not very strong. That's why Ovi's like not the best. You don't really want to be normal summoning Oviraptor as opposed to something like Stego is your best. And then if you have Volcano, or if you mill, that's why you have to be really unlucky for this to be everything you're relying on, but this is like bare bones. If you need to, this is like something. And then this does provide excellent follow-up, right? Because you're gonna negate, Misk in the grave, and then you also have these in the grave too. So you have a lot of gas and follow-up for the next turn. And then not just that, but Velox is going to excavate. You're gonna add a card from deck to hand or summon it, and then that could trigger this, and you get like 2 searches essentially. So the GMX pluses are crazy.
Do you have a preferred name to send off 55 when you do that combo, or not really?
No, it doesn't matter. Well, for me, it's necessary, not so much. I send what's the worst GMX to draw here, right? So if I'm in a situation where all my Aeolos are gone and my Deneens are gone, and I have no more level 3 or lower dinosaurs, I send Researcher Solandi, because Solandi doesn't do anything in that game state. So it totally depends on the game state. You just want to send your most worthless GMX. And then next, we're going to go side deck. 2 Gamma Seal for going second, 3 Hate Shurenade for clearing back row. It's also just good for going second. 2 Cosmic, these are my each 1 point. That's pretty much my going second sides, because a lot of my going second stuff is in the main deck. 3 Fua, 3 Illusion Gate, my Kaiju, my Pank, you know? So Giant Rex is for shifter decks. It's gonna happen a lot where they shifter you, or you play into a D-Fisher and you need to make a Logia. So this is just really good. Ovi can send this, Stego can send this. Even Experiment 55 can send this, which actually did happen. I played against Doug Zeef on day 2, and he was on Exosister. Game 3, he shifted me, and so I go experiment. I experiment into Giant Rex, and my normal summon Stego, overlay the Giant Rex in the Stego, make Dolka, and then off of experiment I summoned Velox. So he had to play through Velox Dolka, which is a weak end board, but he thankfully did not have any breakers, so that was enough to stop him. Now when I go first, I just side in all this gas. So I started more GMX names because they just do more stuff, right? Salon is still a starter, so if this is my only starter, I can at least play the game, you're not gonna brick. So I did not brick, like, all fucking day, thankfully. There were times where I went second, and I just didn't have enough gas to push through. And maybe there was like a brick or two in my hand, but I was gonna lose the game regardless because of the nature of Genesis decks going first, which is so overwhelming. But in terms of like me bricking to the point where I couldn't play, that did not happen once. Every time I went first, full combo or some powerful end board through 4. So these are great. Suppression Squad. I do want to play 2 of this for the future. Probably will main 2 of that. Volcano is great. Again, it's not great going second, so that's why I'm siding a third. But when you're going first, you want to play 3 because it just gets you more to Stego. Once you get to Stego, your end board is like unstoppable. And then of course, Gravity Collapse. Konami, point this card, man. This is crazy. Or don't point it. Shit, I mean, I like don't point it. I'm gonna keep doing this. But this is crazy. You just send a Stero. You want a Stero in the grave anyway. This is just broken, you know.
How many times did you resolve this?
A couple. I want to say like 2 or 3 times all day. It came up fairly often. Yeah, it's crazy.
And what's your reasoning for playing Gamma Seal over a second and third Doggeran?
Doggeran's not a great mill off of Experiment 55, so you really only want to play the 1-of. And Gamma Seal is just, you know, the best kaiju aside from that.
1.
Okay, so here are my matchups for the day. Cool thing about Genesis format, I played 11 rounds, and every single round was a different, unique deck. I did not play any repeats, and thankfully, I dodged a Monarch. Konami, if you're listening to me, you guys need a point Monarch. Dude, that shit is so bad, bro. Like, the whole engine, I have a couple optional floodgates that are pointed, but aside from that, like, the whole engine is free. Pantheism's free, the level 1s are free, like, it's crazy. Point Monarch. Monarch is a problem. But, anyway, round 1, Dragon Ruler. I won that match, 2-0. I did win the die roll. Round 2, I played against Fairy Tail Magistus. Now, I did lose. I actually lost. I got 2-0'd in round 2. I lost a die roll, and then game 2, I misplayed. I actually could have won game 2. But instead of going, I had a Comprex OTK line, but I was overly cautious, and I made Dolka instead and tried to control the game when I could have just OTK'd, and that was a big mistake on my part. And we would have gone into game 3, and who knows what would have happened. But I did end up losing that, so that was round 2. Round 3, I played against White Forest as Amina, 2-0. I won the die roll. Round 4, I played against Call the Haunted Zombies. I actually lost that. That was my only other loss. I won the die roll, but I misplayed. I got Fualos, and I played too conservatively. He did double Fualos me. I got double Fuad, and it got in my head. I had Misk in the grave. I should have banished it, summoned Megalo, and then end phase, Misk destroys the monster you summon off of it. So Megalo would get destroyed, and I would send Astero, and I would have had the full end board. But I was overly cautious. I figured, oh, the 1 Astero's enough, but the 1 trap wasn't enough. It would have been worth it to give him the 2 draws. Albeit, he was siding the Synchro. What's that spell? It's like a spell that says your opponent can't Synchro Summon.
Can't Synchro Summon?
Yeah, it's like a...
Soundproof.
Soundproof. He sided Soundproof, so he could have drawn into it, and if he activates Soundproof, that screws me up because I need to summon Meteor as my form of interaction. So if they side in Soundproof, that's a really hard thing to deal with. But yeah, so round 4 I did lose against Zombies. 1-2. Round 5, I played against Sharks. Shark rank 4 exceeds Turbo. I won the die roll, 2-1 there. Round 6, I played against Dark Lord. I lost the die roll, but I won 2-1. So I beat Dark Lord. And then round 7, I played against Magnet Warrior. I won that 2-1. I won the die roll, but we had a very close game 1. That deck is grindy and was able to play through a lot of my interruption, but I clutched it. And then game 3, I sacked him with the gravity collapse W. Round 8, this is day 2. I played against Atlantean Mermail Synchro Turbo with like Coelacanth and stuff. I won that 2-1. Round 9, I played against the Mimighoul. I can't remember his name, but he's a former YCS champion from Kentucky. This was a written feature match, so you guys can check this out. I won that 2-1. I won the die roll, and I killed it game 1. Game 1, he opened Dominus. I can't remember if it's Spark or Spiral. It's the bounce.
Spiral.
Yeah, he opened Dominus Spiral, and then he bounced Allos, but it was inconsequential because I was able to summon Hornbrute Carnivores from the grave anyway, so I still had the full end board. And then round 10, I played against Digzeef, and he was on Exorcister, 2-1. I lost a die roll, but I opened Fua and Doggeran, but he bricked anyway. So he did Shifter me though, but I was able to play through Shifter because the GMX stuff plays excellently under Shifter. Solandea, so good under Shifter, man. So I was able to make, I had like a tuner, I was able to make Hornbrute Carnivorous and just do a fuck ton of damage. So he scooped game 1. I had like no chance game 2, he made a crazy Exorcister board. And then game 3, I go first, but he Shifters me. And that was the match I just talked about where I made Dolka Velox and it was enough to stop him because he didn't see any, thank God he didn't see any breakers. And then round 11, final round of the day, I played against Doomsy Magnet Warrior 60 card, and I did win that 2-1. Game 1 was very close. Now this is a really cool match. Game 1 against the 60 card Doomsy Magnet Warrior pile, I Fualos him, and he goes pretty strong. Like the Doomsy stuff can play really well under Fualos, and he had a really strong end board. He had the trap that's like the Under Dragon Colossus that stops him from searching, and I go second, but my hand was crazy. I had Fualos, Misk, Stego, and like a couple of things, and I drew into some stuff too because he gave me like 2 or 3 draws, and so I go Misk. Everything's unaffected, so a lot of his interruption couldn't stop me. I go Stego, Hard Make Meteor. Misk plus Stego breaks almost any board. It's so good. So he wasn't able to do anything about it. He had one guy. He had like some small interruption I was able to play around, but eventually I was able to basically summon Comprex and kill him. Game 2, I had no chance. He just went first and cobbled like crazy. So I did, and then game 3, I went first and typical end board. He couldn't play through it because I just had too many nukes interruptions. And yeah, I did lose that die roll, but game 1 I was able to Fualos him and break his board. So that was it. I got all these prizes. Yeah, and you know what, man? Even though unfortunately that final match was a double game loss because the match slip situation is insane. You know what? I'm going to choose to be optimistic about it. I still made top 16. I got all these prizes, and I'm going to make a pretty sick YouTube video out of it. So that's it for today. Dino Duelist out. See you guys.